Hey buds, welcome back to my channel. It's Nat here. I'm so happy to see you. I hope you've had a great week. Listen, even if you haven't, I've been there. I've had days, weeks, even months where things were just feeling a little chaotic or out of control, whether it was in my work life or my personal life. I can promise you one thing, this too shall pass. I know you've heard that before, but really the sun will rise tomorrow, and how we're feeling now in this moment under these circumstances, that'll go away. It's temporary. I promise you it will get better. So hang in there. But what I hope is that on a weekly basis, you have this place to come to check in and to feel reinvigorated and re-energized for the rest of your week, no matter what you're facing, no matter if you're on the upswing or really down in the dumps. I hope this becomes that place where you can really fill up your soul to not only serve yourself better, but then serve those around you. So I hope to see you here next week as well. Today we're talking about one of my favorite elements that I've used in my life when I have found that I'm feeling a little bit stuck, and that is to decide what you don't want. What? What did she just say? Decide what you don't want. Here's what I mean by this. A lot of times we're operating out of the consciousness of what we want or what somebody else wants. I mean, think about it, really. How many times have you heard these questions? What do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to have, a life partner or a spouse? Or maybe for some of us now, the big question is, what do you want when you retire? These questions seem harmless, but how we respond can be harmful. When you were asked those questions, did you give it deep thought, or were you flying off the cuff? Maybe it was what your parents wanted. Maybe it was what your partner wanted. Heck, maybe it was what your boss wanted, or what some movie you watched that week told you should want. The problem is this: most of us believe that when we get what we want, we will have joy and fulfillment, but we rarely take the time to really assess what it is that we actually want. And so we're constantly chasing the idea or what we think we want. And so if you're anything like me, you've probably gotten most, if not everything you wanted in life, and yet you're feeling like something is still missing. Can you relate? I believe it's because it wasn't what we wanted to begin with. Look, I get it. Voicing our desires can be scary, and sometimes it's outright difficult to know what we want. So let me explain it to you this way. So my husband and I, we used to go to couples counseling because we were learning to better communicate. There was always contention around something as little as what was for dinner. Check this out. Babe, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, you pick. All right, let's do Chinese takeout. No, I don't want Chinese. Have you done that before? I mean, really. And so instead, we learned to have it go something a little more like this. Babe, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, but I don't want Chinese food. All right, what about Italian or Mexican food? Yeah, I can go for some tacos. And so this got me thinking. We may not know what we want, but we do know what we don't want. We may not know what we want, but we do know what we don't want. And choosing to ignore that comes with consequences that rob us of joy and fulfillment. So using the decide what you don't want method allows us to get very clear and go down at least a step deeper than we have been going, and not just scratching the surface. So here's what I recommend, especially now as we're almost through January. If you're anything like me and you're looking at your New Year's resolutions or your 2023 goals and you're already feeling discouraged, or maybe you're looking at the list like, yeah, right, like here I go again, I'm not going to get through this list. Like, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep picking these unrealistic goals? Maybe it's because we haven't gone deep enough. So I encourage you for the next week, take out a piece of paper. Like, you don't have to go buy a fancy journal or like write pages and pages, but take out a piece of paper if you can, and pen or pencil, and jot down what you don't want. If you can't do pen and paper and all you have is your phone, pull out your notes app or maybe a laptop, get your Word document open, just get out a blank sheet of paper of some kind to allow you to kind of free write whatever comes up when you ask yourself the question, what is it that I don't want? Changing habits, changing your life can be so scary, and I get it, and it can be very, very hard. But you have the power to decide to make that change. You have the power to decide, today, I've had enough. I decide that I don't want to be miserable anymore because it's costing everyone around me, my relationship, it's costing everyone else to be miserable, or I don't want to be an idiot anymore around my colleagues or my friends. So I'm going to take a course or pick up a book and get some education. Or I don't want to be alone anymore. So I'm going to join a church or a local club. You have the power within you to say, today, enough is enough. I've had it and I'm going to make a change. But it's only when we get clear. So I encourage you, go one step further. Do the work. See what comes up for you and jot down what it is that you're fed up with. What is it that you want to really see change? And I'm willing to bet you're going to start feeling little shifts, and you're going to start feeling re-energized and reinvigorated as you set realistic and deep, meaningful goals for yourself that will be achievable, that you can get momentum on, and that will help you get a completely new outlook on what the rest of this year is going to look like. Look, if nobody else has told you this, I'm going to tell you this. I believe in you, I care about you, and I see you. I hope you'll continue to join me so that we can check in with each other as we do the work together. I'll see you soon.